The first thing that all men need to stop doing is feeding the flesh. Man, the flesh has overate. The flesh is gluttonous, and the flesh does not care about your goals or your dreams or where you're trying to go in this thing that we call life. The flesh just cares about you having a good time and giving you a good time. So when you think about all the things that you want to eat, all your fleshly desires, all the videos that you know you're not supposed to watch on those websites that you're not supposed to be on at that time of night, all of those things, bro, it goes back to the flesh. It goes back to you not having control over that. And if you don't have control over your flesh, then something else has control over you. Your flesh has control over you. Your desires have control over you, right? Your desires have control over the way that you think, over the way that you operate, over the things that you say, over how you operate in public. You got no control over your flesh. You walking down the street and you just keep looking back at girls, looking thirsty, the thirsty energy. Instead of just working on your communication skills, right, which we'll talk about, to build up your confidence, to just talk to the people that you want to talk to in this life. But instead you got thirsty energy. Why? The flesh. The flesh don't do much good for us because we don't have it under control. We let it run rampant. We let it run rampant. And what that's doing in turn is that's really just ruining our life. So one of the number one things that men have to stop doing is stop letting your flesh control your life. Stop letting your flesh control your mindset. Stop letting your flesh control your behaviors. Stop letting your flesh control you. You have to get back in the driver's seat and you have to control your own life. You have to understand how important it is to say no to yourself sometimes. Deny yourself some of the luxuries of life. Work hard for your goals and dreams and know when you earned it, know when you deserve it. Everybody deserves at least 1 to 2 meals a day, man. Like, I truly believe that. But we eating gourmet meals and then we eating cupcakes and then we doing all this extra stuff. And it's like, I thought we said we were going to work on fitness. I thought we said we were going to, achieve our goals and dreams before we do all that. I thought we said we'll just eat, the candy or the ice cream over, like one day out the week for, as a little treat for working hard. We cannot let the comfortability seep into every aspect of our life. Men do that sometimes, bro. And instead of you going after your purpose and going after fulfillment and going after the main mission, you let temporary pleasure come in and destroy you. You let temporary pleasure start to mess up your life. You start to do things for the moment and not for the long lasting. You start to do things for the moment and not for the bigger picture, not for the bigger goals. So it's so important, man, to stop feeding your flesh. You know what I mean? It's important to take control over your life again. It's important to understand that you have the power and nothing else, man. And how you want your life to be is based off of how you operate in this life. A lot of men operate off of comfort and off of how they feel. And that's just very unfortunate, man. It really is. It's very unfortunate. The next thing, man, that men have to stop doing is stop thinking that self-care is feminine. Self-care is not feminine. Every man should have a skincare routine. Every man should be able to sit down and relax for a little bit. Just because you care about how you look and you care about your appearance does not mean that that's feminine. Every man should be caring about that because especially when it comes to your skin, that's the first thing people see when they see you. That's the first thing you see when you look in the mirror. So you want to make sure that it's healthy. You want to make sure that it's glowing. You want to make sure when you in that sun, you got that sun-kissed look. You know what I mean? Meaning that you look good, meaning that you're taking care of yourself, right? Meaning that you are practicing cleanliness and you're practicing what it means to look your best and feel your best. That is very, very important. And we cannot neglect that. And that is exactly why y'all get 40% off right now for your first box of Tej Hanley. I've been using them for almost a year now. Can't wait to say 1 year. I think we're coming up on that very soon. And they have literally transformed my skin. It has gotten much healthier. It feels much cleaner and it looks much clearer. And I feel much more confident when I look in the mirror. I feel more confident when I'm meeting people, when I'm speaking to people, because my skin, for the first time in my life, truly looks like how I want it to look like. And I want y'all to have that same feeling as well. So remember, 40% off your first box to practice self-care, a habit that we should all have, right? Practice having a proper skincare routine, a habit that all men should all have. 40% off your first box, 20% off for life, and it comes with a free gift. So I'll clip everything that it comes with right here, and all of that could be yours, man. And I just want y'all to be able to take care of yourself. That's what it comes back down to. You know, a lot of people neglect it. A lot of people don't think that it matters. A lot of people think that they could just put water on their face and hop out the door. And I don't know where we got this from, but we have to unlearn that. And I had to unlearn that because I didn't really see the importance of it. You know, when I was in middle school, when I was in high school, my wife, right? Like, she my wife now. She was my girlfriend at the time. You know, she was like, in high school, she was like, yo, like, you gotta start taking care of your smell. You gotta start using cologne. You gotta start, doing these things because I know the potential that you can reach. And for her to stick through me from all of that, from, the whole journey, she sees how I am now. And bro, I'm taking my showers. I'm putting on my cologne. I practice self-care. And it really isn't that long, bro. It doesn't really take as long as you think. For me, I wake up in the morning. It takes about 20 minutes for me to shower, and then for me to brush my teeth, and then for me to do my whole skincare routine, and for me to do my beard routine, right? Which is an additional. I don't know if y'all got beards. I could probably put y'all on one day. But like, I do all that 20 minutes. It's not hard. It's something that we should all be doing. Self-care is not feminine. It's not exclusive towards women. Self-care is something that everybody should be doing. Taking care of your image is something that everybody should be doing, right? So let's go on to the third one, man. Shout out Teach Hanley. The link will be below. It's the first link down in the description, y'all. So the next thing that we need to understand, I got it here in my notes. So that's, if you see me looking away, it's because I want to make sure that I'm saying it correctly and I got everything. Inconsistency, right? Self-sabotage. The thing that we have to stop doing is we have to stop being inconsistent. Now, take a walk with me, right? A lot of guys, what they do is they'll walk and then they'll stop, okay? And then they'll walk and they'll walk and they'll walk, and they're doing super good. They're doing super consistent, and then they stop. Okay, all right, and then they walk and they walk and they walk, and then they stop. It's very hard for progress to be made when you're not doing the things that you need to do on a daily basis. It's very hard for true progress to be made when you're not as consistent as you know you can be. It's very hard for true progress to be made when you're not doing the things that you need to do on a daily basis, right? And so we have a hard time being disciplined, and we have a hard time being consistent. And the number one way in order for us to be disciplined and to be consistent is that we have to show up each and every day and do something to further our life. You don't have to have it all together. You don't have to have it all together. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to have life all figured out. You don't have to be perfect. If you only have 10% to give into the grind, then that's what you give. If you can only have a 20-minute workout today because it was a more busy day, that's fine, right? Then that's what you give. I need you guys to start unlearning that if you can't give everything, if you can't give, all your days to the grind, that you don't grind at all. Where is that coming from? You can still push further by giving 20% today, 10% tomorrow, 100% the next day, 50% the next day. And then when you look at the bigger picture, you're making way more progress than if you were to just stop. And when you stop in place, and it's very hard to get going again. I'll repeat that one more time. When you stop in place, and it's very hard to get going again. And this is something that men need to unlearn, because I know how we think. I know how we operate, right? We're brothers, man. Here's what happens, y'all. We believe that if we can't go all in, that we can't do it at all. We believe if we can't go all in, that we can't do it at all. But if you're living this life and you're doing your absolute best, then you are all in. I'll repeat that one more time. If you are living this life and you're doing your absolute best, then you are actually all in, and you got to give yourself more grace. So how do you build that discipline? How do you build that consistency? You just got to put points on the board. You got to keep scoring each and every day. One day you might score like Michael Jordan, 50 points on the board. That's amazing. The next day you might score like Andrew Bynum, Okay, 20 points on the board. The next day you might score like Kobe Bryant, 40 points on the board. The next day you might score like Ben Simmons, 10 points on the board. As long as you are putting points on the board, then when you zoom out, all of a sudden you got 100 points, right? All of a sudden you got 100 points towards your goals and dreams. Tell me that's not amazing. Tell me that's not a good thing. Tell me that that's not better than just not scoring at all. And you saying, I'm not going to show up to this game because I just, I just don't got time. Well, if you only got time to score one bucket, then do that. If you only got time to do push-ups today, then do that. Because overall, when you look at the bigger image, it's still going to get you to where you want to go. Small action is still action, right? Small action is still action. Slow motion is still motion. You are still moving. The thing that you cannot do is you cannot stop unless you are purposely taking a break for your mental health, for you to relax. I do that like once a week, right? Once a week on Saturday. I take it as my Sabbath. Sabbath translation just means day of rest. And I rest on that day so I could relax because I need it, because I'm a hard worker and I would run myself into the ground if I don't. And it's important for me to just spend time with my family to regroup, recoup, and just also have time for myself. And understand how I'm feeling. Okay. So those things are very, very important to me. Another thing that we have to understand, y'all. All right. Another thing that we have to understand is that we cannot lack emotional intelligence. Okay. We cannot lack emotional intelligence. It is very important for y'all to be emotionally aware. And it's very important for y'all to be emotionally intelligent. If you are not emotionally intelligent, then other people can get the best of you because you start to act out of character. You have to know who you want to be, and you have to know how you want to represent yourself in this world. Not every conversation that we're going to have with people is going to be a good one. Not every, think about it, bro. Think about it. Not every conversation we have with everyone is going to be a good conversation. We're not always going to be happy. Right. But at the end of the day, we have to know how to articulate ourselves well. And we have to know to not let people get the worst of us or get the best of us. Right. We have to be in control of whatever we give out, whether it's the best or the worst. I just need you to be emotionally there. I need you to be aware. I need you to care about how you present yourself into the world, not just physically like we spoke about earlier, but I need you to care about how you present yourself into this world emotionally. OK. I need you to care about how we present ourselves in this world emotionally as men. There's a lot of people that believe that we have anger problems and that we cannot control our anger. And they might have a point. We have to get better at that. We have to get better at regulating our emotions, being aware of our emotions. And if we're angry, asking ourselves, why am I angry in this moment? Okay, and what am I going to do about it that can help this situation? If I can't do anything that can help the situation right now, then I'm gonna just sit down for a little bit, breathe for a little bit, and get my mind and thoughts right before I go ahead and continue this conversation and move further. If we can do that, then we'll go significantly farther. But see, the problem is a lot of guys don't do that. A lot of guys don't sit with their emotions. They're not trying to understand their emotions. They let their emotions get the best of them. And to me, that is a huge, huge problem. If you're not able to control your emotions, then other people will control you. I'll repeat that one more time. If you cannot control your emotions, then the actions and words of other people will control you. One thing I don't like is a know-it-all, but it's not about what I like or dislike. Let me get my emotions out of it, right? That's what we just spoke about, right? Let me practice my emotional intelligence. But if I wasn't practicing my emotional intelligence, I would go as far to say that I really dislike when people feel like they know it all, when people feel like they have all the answers. We are on this earth to do one thing, and it's truly to evolve, grow closer to God, be the best versions of ourselves, self-improve, lock in on the things that matters, being on our purpose. But a lot of that could be summed up to one word, evolve, right? Just to make things simple for this conversation. If you feel like you've arrived, if you feel like you know it all, if you feel like you're better than people, if you feel like you don't need to grow anymore or gain information, knowledge, and wisdom, that is the surefire way to remain stagnant. That's how you will just always be who you always were. You'll never change. You'll never get the results that you're looking for in life. You'll never grow. You'll never evolve You will always stay the same. And that same age that you are when you think that you know everything, you will stay that age. So if you're 25 and you feel like you have life figured out, you will always be 25, even when you're 35, even when you're 45, even when you're 55. And I don't know about you, but that's scary. But a lot of people put themselves in that situation. You know what I mean? And a lot of people, they don't think that they have to change. They don't think that they have to evolve. They don't think that they have to get better. They think that they can keep being who they are, and that's okay. And people should just love them for them and respect them for them. And it's like, I respect people who are trying. I respect people who are applying the art of effort. I respect people who are waking up every day and saying, how can I get better? I'm not going to respect somebody as much who is super complacent, staying the same, and not making the proper changes that they need to make in their life. And that's one of the number one things that we cannot do as men is we cannot stop. We cannot stay stagnant. We cannot stay comfortable. You know, we got to keep evolving. We got to keep growing, and we got to keep being 1% better each and every day. And if you're not doing that, then really, what are you doing? You know what I mean? If you're not getting 1% better each day, then what is it that you're doing? So that's one of the things that we just had to talk about. Another thing is being thirsty. hmm Being thirsty. Lust is hurting a lot of men. When you are thirsty for women or even just thirsty for opportunity, it makes you do things out of character. A lot of people are thirsty for money. So what do? They scam, they do things that are ungodly, unrighteous. You take from people, you take from hardworking people because you believe you need to get paid, but you didn't earn it. Or, people steal from people, rob from people, hurt people, just to make a quick buck. I don't believe in that, and I don't think that that's right. You know what I mean? I don't think that that's right at all. But we do it with women too, where we just lust after women, and that's not healthy. Lusting after anything, lusting after money, lusting after, it puts you in a position where you're telling God, you're telling the world that you're thirsty, that you're not in abundance, you're not in alignment, that you're not patient, and you want everything now. And what happens is all the good things that were coming your way starts to repel. So it's important to not be thirsty, man. It's okay to be hungry for something. It's okay to want something really, really bad, but it's never good to be thirsty for it. It's never good to lust after it like that. It's never good to put yourself in those type of positions, because what you're signaling out is that you ain't good right now. That's what you're signaling out. You're signaling out that you are not an abundant person, that you're lacking, that you are without. And the truth is, you have so much to be grateful for. And you just have to be patient, and you have to know that your time is coming. So don't be thirsty, man. When you in that gym, don't be thirsty. Don't lust after women. Don't stare at women while they're working out. Don't do that. Some of them might want the attention, but a lot of them, they just trying to work out. You trying to work out. We're not going to assume anything. It's not healthy to do that, no matter what she's wearing or no matter how she's looking at you or whatever. Unless you want to go up to her and start conversation, don't just lust after her. Don't do that. It's not good. It's not good to just stare at people. It's not good to be thirsty. You need to be on your purpose, no matter who's trying to get your attention or what. You only go up to that girl if you truly want to spark a conversation with her. Don't go up to people because they want your attention. Don't go up to people because you think you have to. Be on your purpose, be on your God-given purpose, and focus on the things that matters, man. So with that being said, those are the things that we got to stop doing. And right now, make sure you go get your Tej Hanley 40% off your first box, 20% off for life, and a free gift. Come on now, man. Clear skin. We in the sun with it. Skin looking clear, feeling good, looking good. And that's really, really important when it comes to self-care and when it comes to my confidence. Anybody could walk past me right now and they know I'm that guy. They know that they may not know me. They may not know what the purpose-driven brand is. They may not know what we do on this YouTube thing. They may not know my status. They may not know how much people respect me. They may not know my family. They may not know none of that. But they do know that I take care of myself. And that's what matters. All right, y'all. Peace.